Before he became the iconic Wolverine, before the Oscars, the Broadway acclaim, and the global stardom, Hugh Jackman was just a boy from Sydney who couldn't sit still in class, who loved the outdoors more than attention, and who secretly feared he'd never be enough. His journey didn't begin in the limelight. It began in pain. Hugh was only 8 years old when his mother walked out, leaving behind 5 children and a life in chaos. The image of her waving goodbye, disappearing in the rearview mirror as she left for England, stayed with him for decades. That absence created a deep longing for connection and a fear of abandonment that would both haunt and drive him. "I've always felt a certain level of loneliness," he once admitted in an interview, "and that feeling shaped everything." But instead of hardening, Jackman developed an unusual sensitivity. It would become his superpower, allowing him to tap into emotional depths that few actors dare to explore. At school, he was the class clown and the athlete. But it wasn't until he took a drama class in college that the spark ignited. He hadn't planned on acting. It was an elective. But from the moment he stepped on the stage, he knew. "It felt like breathing," he said. "I had no idea what I was doing, but I felt alive." That sense of purpose would lead him to study at the Western Australian Academy of Performing Arts, where he trained rigorously while waiting tables to make ends meet. He graduated late, at age 26, older than most, and with a quiet sense of urgency. In 2000, Hugh Jackman landed the role of a lifetime, Wolverine in X-Men. He was a last-minute replacement. The studio wanted someone more famous. Jackman wasn't even the first or second choice, but he brought something that couldn't be manufactured: a brooding intensity, a physical presence, and a soulfulness beneath the rage. Audiences connected instantly. The role transformed his career and eventually became a prison. For 17 years, he played Wolverine across 9 films, bringing a raw, vulnerable depth to the character that elevated it beyond comic book cliché. But behind the scenes, Jackman wrestled with fear. Fear of being typecast. Fear that the world would never see past the claws and growl. He loved Wolverine, but he didn't want to be only Wolverine. So he broke the mold. Between X-Men films, he starred in musicals, Les Miserables, The Greatest Showman, gritty dramas, Prisoners, The Prestige, romantic comedies, and even hosted the Oscars. He sang, danced, acted, and more importantly, evolved. He refused to stay in the box the industry built for him. While his career soared, Jackman kept his feet firmly planted. He married Australian actress Deborah Lee Furness in 1996, before fame, and they remained one of Hollywood's rare love stories for over 2 decades. They adopted 2 children, navigated miscarriages, and support each other through intense scrutiny. In 2023, news of their quiet separation after 27 years shook fans. But even in heartbreak, Jackman chose grace over drama. He spoke with tenderness, emphasizing love and mutual respect. Throughout his life, he battled imposter syndrome, anxiety, and even multiple bouts of skin cancer. But he always returned to his foundation: gratitude, routine, and a commitment to growth. Jackman once said, "The things that I love the most about my life were not in the script. That truth, that life is unpredictable, messy, beautiful, became central to how he lived and performed. From Logan to The Sun, from Les Mis to The Music Man, his roles increasingly reflected his inner world, a man searching for meaning, for home, for redemption. Success didn't come overnight, and it didn't come from luck. Jackman's rise was built on 3 foundational habits that continue to shape his life. 1. Ruthless discipline. Hugh Jackman is known for his intense preparation. Whether it's bulking up for Wolverine or training his voice for a Broadway performance, he commits 100%. His days are meticulously structured: 5 a.m. workouts, meditation, script study, vocal warm-ups. Discipline, he says, is freedom. It gives me the space to create. 2. Deep emotional intelligence. Unlike many stars, Jackman isn't driven by ego. He listens more than he speaks. His ability to connect emotionally with a role, an audience, a fellow actor, is rooted in empathy. It's what makes his performances resonate, whether he's singing in tears or silently brooding. 3rd, commitment to lifelong learning. Jackman reads voraciously, journals daily, and surrounds himself with people who challenge him. He sees every project as a classroom and every failure as feedback. "I'm not the finished product," he often says. "I'm still becoming." Hugh Jackman's inner spark isn't showmanship or charm, it's his vulnerability. In a world that often equates masculinity with toughness, Jackman redefined strength. He showed that being open, emotional, and even broken at times isn't a weakness. It's the gateway to connection. His willingness to feel fully and unapologetically has made him a rare kind of star. He made sensitivity masculine. He made discipline soulful. And he made art an extension of the human condition. From a little boy longing for his mother to a man who made the world feel through song, film, and raw emotion, Hugh Jackman's story isn't just about fame. It's about choice. The choice to stay grounded, the choice to evolve, and the choice to lead with heart. And in a world filled with noise, he reminds us that sometimes the quietest strength is the one that leaves the loudest echo.